Hi, my name is Ian Gack with Explosive Swing, and in this video we're going to go over a separate the slot PVC progression drill. Okay, so this drill is designed to help hitters feel what it's like to get to a good hitting position, create good separation and stretch, and then feel the elbow start to slot, create a good slot position, and maintaining stretch as we start to initiate our swing. Okay, so this is for hitters that tend to want to push. Okay, a lot of times thinking that hands to the ball, knob to the ball mentality gets us into a pushing movement, right? When we push to the ball, first we have less time in the zone, right? When we get turned behind it, we're gonna have more time in the zone, increase our room for error. We also are gonna kill our power, right? We're starting to release tension early, right? Release the stretch early, and now we're leaking energy early, and we're not sending it all into the baseball or softball like we want to. If we slot underneath and behind from a good hitting position and maintain stretch, now we can release everything into the baseball or softball and hitting it for more exit velo, more power. All right, so how we perform the drill: first, we need a PVC pipe. About a 5-foot long pipe is what I like, works for most hitters. We just want to be able to hold our hands around where we normally hold them when we get to our good hitting position, especially, right? So if I get around my shoulder height, that's where I want to be. If you don't have a PVC pipe or a broomstick, that works. You can also take a bat and a stool or a chair, and that should work too. Maybe I'd want it maybe a tad bit higher, but that's okay. I could also work from there and use this instead of the pipe. So when we start our drill, we're going to start at our hitting position, and we're going to work our way back into our forward move, our stride and our load. So first thing we're going to do is we get to our good hitting position, couple checkpoints: hips back, chest forward. We're athletic, 50-50-ish with our weight. Knees inside the feet, weight through the heel arches and the big toes. Front foot at 90 to 45, it's all okay as long as we have pressure inside the leg. Back foot should be about a 90-degree angle as well. And then have the pipe. Hands are gonna be off the back shoulder, okay? Either slightly behind or right even width. We just don't wanna be inside. That's gonna be working to that push move. So we want to make sure that we're right outside the back shoulder or with the back shoulder, and having our pipe on about a 45-degree angle, creating a good 45-45. So if I have a bat in my hand and I'm in my hitting position, I should have a 45-degree angle this way, and then a 45-degree angle this way as well. And then here's a front view, hips back, chest forward, in that good posture. To perform the drill though, we're actually going to be slightly before we get to our hitting position, in the position I call toe touch. So as we load and we make our forward move, we're loading, load, stretch, 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 all the way into toe touch, so that elbow keeps gaining, we keep stretching. But then as that heel plants, which is our hitting position, power position, launch position, whatever you call it, we're actually starting to fire the swing, fire the backside. So that elbow is actually going to start to work down towards slot. Barrel's still going to stay up. Inside half the back knee starting to fire a little bit towards our front foot. Our front heel, back hip starting to fire just a little bit. Starting to initiate hip and shoulder separation, creating stretch, right? And we're initiating our swing. So what we're going to start in is almost our hitting position. We're going to start in toe touch. So we get to our good hitting position, lift our heel up off the ground. So I'm in toe touch. I'm in full stretch. It's about as maxed out as I can be, whether you have a real high elbow or a lower elbow, but I'm stretched out. And then to perform the drill, I'm just gonna plant the heel, and I'm gonna start to fire my back hip, my back knee, and my inside half of my back elbow, start to work towards my back elbow, working towards my back hip pocket, towards my back hip or back pocket. Inside half of the back knee starting to fire towards the front heel, back hip starting to fire as well. So just heels up, and I'm in toe touch, starting to fire, working towards slot. Not all the way into slot, because if I'm all the way into slot, that's gonna be more in this position here, but we're just gonna be working towards slot. So this is actually just working towards my hitting position, okay? So I'm loaded, I'm already stretched out, heels up, firing towards slot, all right? Now a key here, this pipe shouldn't move, it should stay in place, right? When I stride load, I'm initiating my swing, everything's going to work underneath my hands. My hands are relatively going to stay in place. So if you're starting to fire and this is coming forward, you know you're not doing it right, okay? From the front side, you got heel up, load the slot, right? I'm already loaded. I'm loaded. I'm in the toe touch. Fire to slot, towards slot, not all the way to slot. The next part is going to be working to we're going to start in our stance. We're working our forward move, stride and load, making our forward move. So I'm going to start my normal stance wherever I normally stand. All right, and remember, if you see my other videos, we're going to coil into our backside to load. Hands are working in and back, elbows working in and back, scap load, whatever makes most sense to you. You know, knob to the armpit, elbow in and back, shoulder blade towards the spine. You know, whatever cue works for you, but working in and back. We're coiling into our back hip, knee staying inside the back foot, loading in, and then I'm thinking down to out as I move forward. So I'm going to load in, down to out, but I'm going to hold at toe touch. Okay, so I'm going to load in and back, down to out to toe touch, and then fire towards slot. Load in, down to out to toe touch, heel plant. Yeah, just another key here is we're not working all the way to slot. We're not trying to bury the elbow in the side. It's just starting to work that way. So the elbow's starting to work towards slot, towards our back hip, towards my back pocket, underneath the hand. Okay? Yeah, from the front side, load in. Okay, load the toe touch, heel plant. All right, load in, down to out the toe touch. And then from there, we're just going to put it all together more fluid, okay? So I'm just going to load in, work down the out, toe touch to heel plant, everything's working fluid. Just like we would when we swing, right? It's not freeze frame, 1, 2, 3. When we swing, it's going to be all fluid action. All right, and that's the PVC progression with our separate to slot. Again, great drill to do, especially since you can do it anywhere. You can do it in your room, you can do it in garage, batting cage, on the field, wherever you're at. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out exploswing.com.